Thanks for coming to the Minnesota Black Robe Regiment channel. As always, I'd love some subs, but more than anything, I would really like your feedback. And as always, keep it civil, keep it polite, no ad hominems, no pure insults. Just let's have a conversation. Let's discuss what I have to say, deal with it on its face, and then move on from there. Today, what I want to talk about is this new trend, and it's probably not all that new. We've been seeing it for the last several weeks, but now we've got doctors like Anthony Fauci and a doctor out of Idaho telling everyone we need to be wearing double masks. Surgical masks allegedly have a 80% effectiveness rate for blocking current virus that's going around. But now the fear porn is kicking in, and we're being told about this new, shall we say, strain, because viruses don't do the virus thing, which is mutate and change. It's one of the reasons why the flu vaccines are so touch and go every year, is because they're always producing a flu vaccine based on last year's flu, hoping that they can stop the new flu, and that flu is already mutated, and so the flu vaccine is partially effective, but it's not really doing what it's intended to do, which is kill off any new strains. We always have to wait for the new strain to come along. So that's where we're at right now. We're dealing with, for lack of better terminology, a normal virus that does what viruses always do, and now we're being told we should be wearing 2 masks. And people are even now starting to suggest that we wear 3, because if you wear a surgical mask at an 80% effectiveness rate, adding the cloth mask to it is going to, or another type of covering, is going to bump that up to maybe 90%. So I say, let's agree with all these other people. Let's pile on a couple of more. Let's put on a surgical mask, and then a cloth mask, and then another surgical mask that's impregnated with carbon, and then let's put another cloth mask over that. Let's go to 4 levels. Let's get 100%, and then make it a law that you have to wear it everywhere you go, even in your own home. I know I'm being ridiculous, but what we have to understand is there's a couple of things at play here. And what I want to do is I want to watch this really brief video from Fox. I hate Fox News now, by the way. Can't stand them. They're shills for the left. They're shills for the agenda. They've proven that now time and again. So let's pay real close attention here. Look at the ha 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 here.
Triple mask. Have you heard the rage now? Here's my Seinfeld. Then I got the fancy one. Then I got the N95. People are really talking about wearing multiple masks now. So let's ask Dr. Mike about this. But first, Dr. Mike, yet another study. I think we've kind of known this. People are so worried about restaurants and gyms and stuff like that. It seems like the everyday activity, just hanging out with each other, is the way this thing is spreading.
Well, yeah, and with these new variants, the P1 variant is now.
So catch that, these new variants. Listen to this fear mongering that's going on. We're going to really up the fear about these new variants. And what he's about to say here is that this is even more contagious. It's even more. You got to be really careful. It's even more contagious. This is all geared towards controlling you. They want you to be afraid so that you'll do whatever they tell you to do. And this is going somewhere.
Now here, the Brazil one, and there's about 4 of them circulating the planet, and they are much more contagious. So we have to be very, very careful. Avoid crowds. When you go to the...
Notice this. We're almost a year into this virus, into this alleged pandemic, and we're being told now we still need to avoid crowds because these new variants, these new strains are coming in, because they're so much more contagious and dangerous.
Supermarket, you want to make sure you bring this before and after you go in, and this concept of wearing several masks, really the way to go, Michael. And ever since this started, I have been doing this. I put this mask on, and then I put this mask on. So I've been wearing 2 masks when I'm seeing my patients, but everyone should have, and you can get them at Home Depot anywhere, surgical mask and then the cloth mask over that. That might be the way to go with these new variants.
So I guess just the
People are making a killing on this right now. I mean, like, not to use a probably an inappropriate word, but they're literally making a killing right now on these surgical masks and whatnot. Like, there are companies out there right now, they're just cranking these things out, and people are just buying them like it's worse than buying toilet paper right now. And you go and buy them because you just buy them in bulk and just have them on all the time. Okay, ridiculous. This is ridiculous. So not only are we being fed this fear porn, being afraid of these new variants, and wear at least 2 masks or more. Now we're being told that we need to continue to be staying at home and keeping our distance from everybody. This is getting out of hand, people, and yet we've got all the sheeple in the state of Minnesota, especially, and other places that are just buying into this hook, line, and sinker. I've had conversations in the last 24 hours before filming this video where people are like, if the government says I'm going to order you to wear 2, 3, 4, or 5 masks, I'll do it if it means I'm safe. Look, people, you've become so risk adverse. You're terrified to live. You're terrified to live. You literally, you should never leave your house under these circumstances because anything's going to kill you. In fact, you may don't even get out of bed because you could die slipping on your floor. I mean, like, my floor upstairs in my house is so slick. Like, when I'm not paying attention, when I get up in the middle of the night to go use the bathroom, I could die. I could slip and break my neck. I think I should probably be catheterized. Well, I could get an infection from that. So I don't know. Maybe I should pee in a bedpan. But then if I don't get out of bed, then I'm going to get bed sores. Bed sores can get infected, and I could die. Do you see how this goes? You cannot be so risk adverse that you don't live your life. And there again, even at a high contagion rate, this virus has an incredibly high survival rate.
cloth mask alone is not enough.
Well, we've talked about this, Alex. Bottom line is you want several layers of high thread count cotton. But what they're saying now with these new variants, maybe get a surgical mask. You can buy them in bulk now. Put that on, and then the cloth mask
Notice
over
that
that.
constant pressure, buy more
because
masks.
These new variants are highly contagious.
See that
Okay,
fear?
is anybody
fear
making
porn.
a mask that would be like 2 masks in one?
Well, there's several layers, and you can buy them, and they're great because the cloth ones, Michael, you can wash. But
Yeah.
what they're saying now is it's almost like a filter. You put the surgical mask on that are now available, not N95, surgical mask. Buy that, put that on, and then the cloth mask with several layers. You're good to go
Okay.
in this very contagious variants.
I guess, Mike, you mean one already built in, a surgical mask built to save him some
Yeah,
effort.
just because I'm lazy.
Yeah,
I don't see too many people wearing 2 masks. I mean, so I guess this
unless
is
they're
the,
medical professionals. Yeah, I haven't
well,
seen that.
yeah.
You will.
All
You
right,
will.
I'll start doing it.
You hear that? You will. You will. Now, what is that a hint at? Let's be honest. That's a hint at, here come the mandates. Here come the mandates. Your employer is going to start requiring you to have on 2 masks, a surgical and a cloth of some sort. You're going to be required when you go into a business, prove you're wearing a mask. But not just a mask, you're going to have a surgical mask and you're going to have a cloth mask on. This is coming. Governors are going to start ordering this. They're going to start mandating that. Here in the state of Minnesota, Commissar Tim Walz of the People's State of Marxisota is already trying to tie relinquishing his emergency powers to getting the state legislature, the people who actually write the laws, to mandate by law with legal penalties, not just the threat of some civil penalty, but actual legal, like you jail and massive fines, like arrestable offense. They want it to be an arrestable offense to not wear a mask. Because of what? Because we're jacking up the fear on these new variants, and we've been jacking up the fear on these viruses for almost a year now, folks. It's as I shoot this video right now, it's January 27th, 2021. And we're jacking up the fear still. We got February and March. We've got a little less than 2 months before Minnesota went into its first lockdown. And we have never ended our shutdown. We've relaxed it a little bit, but we've never ended it. And we've actually jacked it up more in certain situations. This is never going to end, people. And so many of you are out there sheepishly applauding the governor for doing what he's doing. And so many of you are sheepishly afraid of a virus that has a better than 98% survival rate. Oh, but the long-term side effects. Who cares? Live your lives. Get over this fear. It's literally killing you. This fear is killing you. I don't say these things because it makes me popular. I say these things because it's real. You're losing everything that is enshrined to you in the Constitution because all you want is to be protected, and you will bow at the feet of a rising tyrant like Timothy Walz, the commissar of the People's State of Marxisota, to just be protected. Keep me safe. Keep me safe, Dad. Keep me safe, Daddy. Don't let anything bad happen to me. Give me a little extra money, but keep me safe. It's got to stop. And people are sick, but it's not from a virus. You're sick with the indoctrination of Marxism that has been force-fed to you through the government systems of schools and other means for years. And now you're spreading that sickening virus of sheepish compliance in the face of nature. What comes next? Where do you draw the line? How many facial coverings over your face is going to be enough for you to say, enough's enough, I'm not going to do it anymore? What's it going to take? We have got to stop this madness. We have got to stop it now. We're never going to get our country back. Sic Semper Tyrannis.